The search for little Caylee Anthony in Florida. Crime scene investigators now in possession of two large bags of items. They were taken from the Anthony home in Orlando early this morning. Now, they took this evidence from the home of Caylee's grandparents this morning. What could be in those bags? Well, that remains to be seen. And Mom Casey and little Caylee also lived in a home seen here, so possibly some of their belongings. The toddler turns 3 this week. She's been missing since June. Her mother still behind bars, charged with child neglect and obstruction of justice. Orly Salinas is live outside the Anthony home. And Orly, I understand the family just came home. They were not home at the time that CSI came in and collected that evidence.
No, not at all, Julie. Right around 10:30 or so this morning, Eastern Time, CSI technicians showed up here. They were standing in front of the yard, didn't go inside the home because at that time, George and Cindy Anthony were at a scheduled meeting with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Well, about 10 minutes or so after we get here, George Anthony shows up in a police car, an unmarked police car, gets out of the front. They open up the door. We yell out a couple of questions, and of course, nobody says anything. They go inside, close the garage door, spend about 10 minutes inside the home as we saw it. Believe that they were actually made their way to the backyard. When they left, Julie, they had two large, what appeared to be evidence bags that had something in them, but we don't know exactly what that was, Julie.
Do we know why they went back there? I mean, what led them back there? We don't know what was in those bags, but we do know that, you know, just over a week ago, they dug behind the grandparents' home, and now they're taking things. What is it that could have possibly been in the house that they didn't take over a week ago?
Right. What we do know is this, Julie. We do know that when police left here, the Orange County Sheriff's Department left here, like you said, a little bit more than a week ago. They took down that police tape. They said, you know what, we can always come back here. We said, well, isn't this still a crime scene? And they said, look, we can always come back. We reserve the right to do that. Any cop will tell you that. Well, apparently something happened in the past, I don't know, maybe 48 hours or so. Remember, Julie, yesterday, Cindy and George Anthony met for 3 hours with the FBI and then met for 3 hours with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. And then the plan today was to have another meeting today with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. This morning, George Anthony held a little hit-and-run press conference here. And you know what? We try to ask questions that we think are germane to this situation. We try to ask questions that we think folks at home would want to ask. Here's a snippet of an exchange between myself and Mr. Anthony.
This is just baloney.
Well,
I don't want to get into it. Your granddaughter's out there, and,
yes,
and you keep saying the same thing. How do you expect America to want to pitch in and say, we're going to find this girl, when they hear you saying, hey, I know something, but I'm not talking?
I mean, I physically, my own personal self, I've been trying to find
Then again, if you want to walk in my shoes, you can come and walk in my shoes. You want to walk in my wife's shoes, my son's shoes, close friends of ours, other people that are out there sitting. If you want to walk in our shoes and find out what we go through day in and day out and how we hurt, you know, be my guest.
About 10 minutes ago, Julie, George and Cindy Anthony did come back in. They pulled into the home over here, and the media made their way to them. Usually they're ready to speak. In this case, Cindy Anthony turned around to us, and as the garage door was closing down, she yelled out, why don't you get off my property? Why don't you just leave? Sort of a different turn for her today. Julie?
Yeah, that is quite a turn, actually. She's been talking to the media practically daily, and now it seems she's siding with her daughter a little bit more, though, these days. All right, Orly Salinas, thank you so much.